I mean, for me, it's an upsetting question. It's almost offensive. But I don't want to get offended by the question.
People get link up and get married just to go 50-50. I were asking, like, one of the things we were getting into is like, should couples go 50-50? And that's what the question was. And I was explaining to V that, like, there is, like, she was saying, obviously, you know, it irritates her to hear the question being posed, but I was saying, like, some people, like, even, you know, link up, get into relationships just to have that 50-50 where there's less rent. You know, somebody's splitting the bills. They feel that I've heard, I've seen it, they've felt like their lives were easier with a partner going 50-50. So I even heard some people say, I'm not going to repeat it. Okay, I'll repeat it. The ugly people do that. When you fall off, it's just like, well, you know, let's get some cheaper rent and link up with somebody and just like have an easier life. So I've heard people say that, but it's just it seems like something that's become the norm in a lot of circles where people just think 50-50 is normal. And so yeah, do you ladies think people should go 50-50?
So for myself, if we're going 50-50, we're not in a relationship, or if the kind of relationship that we're in is like a friendship relationship. I'm not going to be in a relationship with a guy that is supposed to be masculine, that's supposed to be my guy that I'm going 50-50 with, because there really isn't a such thing as 50-50 in a masculine feminine relationship where there's a role of a guy being the man and a role of the woman being the female. And I do traditional male female relationships. So if there is a masculine, then the part of the masculine role is to protect and provide. There's no 50-50 in protecting, and there's definitely in providing. There's absolutely no 50-50 in providing. So if he's being the provider, if he's only providing 50%, then how is he being the provider? He's not. So
what if you're gender neutral though? I'm not just
right. So I can only speak to my situation. So like I said, if there is a masculine and feminine, it's what I said. If there's a masculine and feminine in the relationship, the masculine is supposed to be the protector and the provider. So if you're in a masculine and feminine relationship, then the masculine is supposed to be the provider.
So you think this is only exclusive to relationships where there are, you know, an established role of a I
don't think it's only exclusive to that, but I definitely think it is mandatory in that you're not being masculine. It's not a masculine and feminine relationship unless the guy is providing.
I would have to definitely agree with Ella. And also for me, when I approach a relationship and I look at it as a 50-50 thing, when you look at something and you say, okay, well, let's do 50-50 so that it's an equal situation, I approach it more in equity. In an equity situation more than an equal situation. And so the last relationship I was in, and we talked about like, okay, well, you know, let's look at things as 50-50, everyone's equal, whatever, because that's how some guys will like to approach it and try to talk to you about it as like, oh, you know, I'm a feminist and I think women are equal, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you know, to me, that's, don't try to feed me bull crap.
Gaslighting you.
Yeah, I just, you know, I don't want to, that word is kind of overused a little bit, but in the equity stance, women make, I think, 68 cents on a dollar that men make. So and just in that sense alone, that's never going to be equal, because the man's going to automatically make way more money than the woman is going to make.
40% at least.
Yeah. And then when you look at who's getting the higher paying jobs, men typically get the higher paying jobs. So it's already harder for a woman to get a higher paying job. So that gives them another leg up on the woman. And then when you look at, if you put a race aspect in there, whether it's a Black woman or a Black and a white man, the white man's going to get paid way more than the Black woman. So I come at it as more of an equity, who's going to be making more money. And then when you look at where even if it's a two gender, whether it's a woman of no color and a woman, a Black woman, if they're in a dual gender relationship, that woman of no color is still going to be most likely making more money than the Black woman. So that still wouldn't be fair on that relationship. But just speaking in a heterosexual relationship, to me, in that relationship, I wouldn't feel comfortable being in a relationship where I'm paying 50-50 with the guy either. Even if I made equal money with him, because that's still that respect level on where I feel safe, where I feel like I'm being taken care of, where I feel like that's my provider, protector.
Someone you can fall back on. He's your rock.
Yeah, I just wouldn't look at him the same, and I wouldn't have that same level of respect if I was paying half the bills. It just wouldn't be there. And I know that might seem a little weird to some people, but it just to me, it wouldn't feel right. So no, that balance would never be there on a respect level. He will be more of a homie. And I know that, like, it sounds weird, but for me, I would always be looking for the man of the house, and he just wouldn't be it. So
exactly.
And you said the man of the house, but what about like dating situations? Because this is like most, and it's most. You mean in dating situations too? You would just be like,
I don't date to just date. I date, I'm looking for a life partner. So that's always the end goal if I'm dating someone.
So why do you think that most women do look at or consider 50-50 fair? Like you hear women boast about the fact that they take care of their own and hold their own weight in the relationship financially and otherwise. Why do you think?
Because they don't feel comfortable with relinquishing that responsibility to the men that we have going out nowadays. They don't. They've shown that they're not either capable or not going to provide. So I mean, if they're like, okay, well, I can do it myself, but they're not going to have the respect, like Dee said, they're not going to have that respect level. So when these guys are out there saying aren't respecting me, they're not submitting, well, yeah, because you're not giving them the ability to do that.
Yeah, I just think it's just the whole idea is kind of gross. Like I wouldn't even. I feel like even the concept of it just bothers me because it reeks of lazy, broke.
The concept of what? You have to say
it's
what,
just
the
like
concept of what?
Moralless. You don't have any. It's demented to me for a guy to ever.
The concept of what? You have to say.
I said the concept of going 50-50. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I'm just saying the whole idea. But when I hear women, even talk about or air guys, it just makes me cringe because it's like, where is why would this be normal or okay? I can't even imagine the idea of a guy been in a, like, why? Like, what's like, who would he? I feel like you're raised wrong if you're a woman and you're okay with sitting across from a guy who would even articulate or and having their thought process of someone going 50-50, or just thinking about having a discussion about who's going to pay at the, at the dinner. These things happen. I'm telling you, I've heard, and it just cringeworthy. So
I think it's settling. I think as women are settling nowadays. They're like,
settling.
I feel like I need a husband, so I'm going to settle for a dude that.
But look at the thing. If you are settling for something like that, for someone who is lazy, is immoral, and is literally mentally corrupt as a man to think that a woman should go 50-50. So if a woman even is settling for something like that, things don't get better from there. Things get worse from there.
Right.
You're dealing with someone who's irresponsible, lacks leadership skills, who clearly has low self-esteem, because to think that a woman is gonna go 50-50 is saying, I'm marginal, I can't deal with paying for you and me. I need you to, like, what's in your wallet? That's a problem.
Right.
Like, that's juvenile. I can't even imagine. But it's like, let me back it up for a minute. I can imagine, I feel like that's appropriate thinking if you're a teenager, like 16 tops. That means, like, even at 16, I feel like if you're a guy and you're 16 and you're dating, that's even a problem. I feel like at that point, you should have your, like, if you're dating, quite frankly, and I will say,
if you're dating,
if my son goes to his little, what do you call it, little dances and everything, you have money he's going with money to at least accommodate one of his friends, at least one of his friends. I don't think that if you're a guy, you should be out in the scene without money to take care of yourself and whoever is going to be out with you. And certainly if it's a woman. Now, if you're going, even if you're, and I feel like it's the same as even if you're like, if you're, of the same gender, if you're going out and you're taking someone out and you're accepting the role as the
masculine,
right, I suppose. And I won't even say, even if you're both a masculine, then you both should be like arguing about who will pay the bill. If you're both masculine, it's like, let me take care of this, or I'm gonna take care of this. I'm not gonna tell you, I'm gonna one up you because I'm gonna pay for it before we even get there. Or I'm gonna go and talk to the waiter. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, but I'm going to talk to the waiter. I'm paying it already, because that's my position of saying I'm leading this situation and I'm taking care of it. Because I'm a leader, I'm mature, I got myself together, and I take care of mine. I'm not going to allow someone else to pay for me. And that's the kind of dude I would deal with. I'm not going to deal with any kind of guy that even entertains low budget dating. It just ain't happening. No.
I saw this video. It was like a little tiny clip. And there was these dudes standing in line, and they were trying to order. He was with his girlfriend, and his friend was behind, and he was with his girlfriend. They're standing in line. They were ordering, like, I don't know, burgers or something. And when they asked for the money, he started, like, patting himself down and looking around. And then she's like, "It's fine, I got this." And then they start dancing and doing, the guys start dancing and, like, doing, like, all kinds of, like, the happy dance and stuff. And dudes are, like, saying, "Yeah, this is, like, amazing. How you feel when a girl says she got you and, you don't have to pay." And I was just like,
that's
horrible.
That's like, no. And I would have said,
right,
even about the millionaire.
I've never dated a guy that would, I've never, like, I mean, just, if he actually did forget his wallet and he always pays, yes, it's good to have a girl that has your back, but to be like,
I'm gonna tell you what, I'm sorry, that's a call, an opportunity for learning.
Go back to the house.
I don't get, no, I'm gonna sit there and look at you, because if you forgot it, you're gonna forget it again.
Right.
I just feel like he should be embarrassed. It shows his mentality and his morale level that he's excited and happy about it, instead of humiliated and embarrassed that he doesn't have the funds to purchase what he
the ability to provide for his women.
Yeah, and
he's lacking the mental capacity. He's lacking the mental capacity to keep up with his wallet. It's like something is wrong there. And people are praising her for going into her pocket. No. Like,
And
are
like,
they married and the money is in their joint bank account, and she happened to have, you know, their joint debit card that she's got has her name on it, but it says too. Like, why?
well, if I'm with the guy that I've been with and he usually pays and stuff like that, I think it's totally reasonable that she pays for, you know, the meal if he genuinely forgot his wallet and stuff. But it's not
Right.
something he's proud about. Like, why are you proud and
Right.
excited?
I agree
that-
with you, V, only to that capacity.
Can I
Like, if
finish
he's
my
proud about it,
sentence?
it's a no. It's like he's gonna, as soon as I saw you being proud of it, it's like, no, I'm
I
not.
want to finish my
I'll
thought.
be like, actually, my card don't work.
I just want to finish my thought though. I don't think that he should be proud of his incompetency. Like, you're showing that that's a lack of dependency. Like, you're not responsible because you lost something. It's not something that you should be excited about. And then this whole pushing, there's two different dynamics about this whole 50-50 and women being strong and independent women that guys are actually gaslighting women on. Because on one side, they're saying, oh, women don't need us. They're too independent. They, you know, they want to do everything on their own. You know, they're not feminine. They're, you know, they have these attitudes, whatever. But then if you go back to the early 2000s and even closer towards the middle, there were all these songs that they were making, worshiping, you know, single women or independent women that had their own stuff and made their own money and all of this stuff.
Right.
So now that
They're getting a taste of it.
two different sides. Most of them don't want to pay for anything. Most of them want to rest in their femininity. Most of them want women to wait on them, to have a full-time job, pay more than 50-50. They want them to pay most of the rent, buy the food, cook the food, clean the house, take care of their own car, you know, do everything. They really don't want to do anything. So it's not even really, it's never, like Ella was saying, it's never really going to be a 50-50 or a balanced thing. Women are, and they can argue this or not, every woman that I've been around are naturally nurturing, and you usually end up doing cooking, cleaning. I'm not going to say everyone, because I really don't like cooking or cleaning at all. I would lean more on the less nurturing, but I still will cook some and clean a teeny bit. And I'm more nurturing towards infants than I am a guy. But I mean, I like to cuddle and stuff like that, but I'm not going to baby a guy. I lean more or less towards that kind of waiting on a guy and infant. But most women are more nurturing than that. But I will like do laundry and stuff like that. I don't mind doing that. So women usually end up doing most of the domestic duties anyway. I mean, they just do, but mostly because guys just won't do it. So if it's gonna be done, either you're gonna get a maid or the woman usually.
Right. As soon as like a guy will say, well, we've been doing it ourselves. Like they're like, I was going to do it anyway. But as soon as they actually have a woman in their house, they stop doing it. Like they're going to pretend like they were doing it, and they're like, oh, it gets done. Yeah, it gets done because I do it. Like there's so many commercials. There's literally so many commercials that say, oh, just leave your stuff. What? And there's women that are complaining that their man is just leaving their clothes and pals wherever they take it off, and the toilet seat up, and the dishes in the sink and on the counter. Like dudes are leaving that stuff out because that's how their behavior is. This is what they do. When they're done with things, they just leave it all over the place. And the woman just picks it up and cleans it up. And so it's not like okay, yeah, you were doing this by yourself when you didn't have a woman. But as soon as you get a woman, you stop doing it like they all do.
That kind
And
of,
they expect her to do it.
and I feel like, I'm just gonna bring that into my next, unless anyone wants to contribute a bit more to that. B, did you have any final thoughts on the 50-50? I say just don't do it.
I say, yeah, I really
There's
think
no
that-
such thing.
And I do, I
It's a
just
myth.
feel that in that with, I find it, corrupt. It's a corrupt system. When a guy says 50-50, they do want to rest in their femininity, and they want to abuse you. It's an abusive situation.
It's like,
I
go get
agree
yourself a man if you want 50-50. Just
I
be
agree with
it.
Ella. I think it's like she said, the myth. It's not really a real thing. You're not going 50-50. You're going to be doing a lot more.